we're going to see what he can do on this dual plat stage. Getting into it now, Brawlhalla Winners Finals.
Yeah, so Miami Dome, we've talked about it a few times. Yes, it's a dual plat stage, but it also has these plats that are more than one jump height away, which is what's so unique against playing against Greatsword's grounded game, which I'm certain is why Godly has been opting to go towards this. And Skeldra just can't get back onto the stage. Look at that. He was almost on ball slip at the very beginning of the game.
The name of the game is playing around those Greatsword threat ranges once Skeldra gets it, but yeah, Godly's doing a great job of playing around that side light. We saw him doing a great job playing around Blaze's D-Light when he was on Hammer, so very good understanding of threat ranges, but Skeldra.
Oh, that Sarah almost hits it. Godly has to use his side stick to make it back to the stage. D-Light ground pound hits. He still has his jumps. No! Goes straight to the blast zone, and Skeldra takes the lead there. So yeah, and then on something else that we've noticed before with Skeldra's play that you highlighted is that, like, unlike other Greatsword players, Skeldra just lets the sidelight, D-Light bridge, sidelight finishes rip, and they just hit, even on players like Godly. And then he got the Sarah afterwards to be able to attack on even more damage. And now Godly is fighting to go back into this game with an even game state, because look how much damage he's taking from Skeldra.
Skeldra's loving this. So much damage. But going off the stage now, just swinging on the way back. I like it.
Yeah, the Sares, as he's approaching, okay, Godly, what was that? Gravity cancel sidelight to recovery. Uses the side stick to go onto the stage. He was trying to cover to see if Godly was going to go for the weapon pickup, and Godly fainted away, but if he didn't, that side stick would have been devastating.
Yeah, I was liking both the play from Skeldra and Godly there. Skeldra with the side light, trying to call out Godly's landing, but Godly just jumping again, making it very unpredictable.
Went for the exhaustive recovery there. Godly trying to catch him on these landings. Just stays right on top of him, avoids the end light, gets the neutral light himself, and now finally picks up a weapon. But this is the weapon that you and I were talking about even between blocks, right? Where it's like, okay, we watched enough Skeldra to know that he's really only picking up the sword for that, and then he's going right back over.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's so good at getting those kills with sword. But this is his bread and butter. This is what he wants. He is a great sword main.
And now that he's over onto the Great Sword, goes for that dash forward sidelight, just like you're talking about. He goes for those pokes, waits to see if he can get a dodge right afterwards, and that's when all of the damage starts to come out of it. Landing dare and sig. Love
my God.
It's those kind of drag and drop signatures, as PJ likes to call them, right? Where it's kind of like, sure, I could go for my land attack string, but I could also just like rip the earth apart and send rocks flying around everywhere and knock you out that much faster.
Godly was getting so used to the sidelight timing, and Skeldra said, I'm going to mix it up. Now deal with this.
4 times. Oh! Pocket Sand comes through, and a 2-stock for Skeldra in game number 1 here in Winners Finals is probably making a lot of those doubters in Twitch chat nervous about their channel points, because I imagine that it's your vote would be highly in Godly's favor.
Yeah, that was a great edge guard over there, and we see the
D-Light recovery. It's like, he's in red? Fine, I will switch weapons. What's that? Well, all the knockouts happening over on sword. What's the deal there? Is he a sword main? No, that's not the case.
Okay, Godly's switching it up.
Yeah, so we've talked about this, right? If a game doesn't go well, Godly doesn't like give it 2 games to find out whether he should switch off the character. He says, okay, what I'm doing here is not working. I didn't like the Mirage. He's now switched over to the Yasuri. This is a pick that he has locked in before. So with Katars and Sword, he's going to have a different approach to fighting against Skeldra's Great Sword and Miami Dome here in game number 2.
Sword dittos, aka both characters just swinging side air at each other.
Side air sound effects, ASMR. We've got that here going on in Winners Finals. Oh, and the 2 whips right away. They're definitely looking for that Sarah. Skeldra finds one. Will he switch off with a weapon? Oh.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, just the raw.
Yeah, seeing the weapon throw with the pickup. The amount of damage you get off of that, I think, is 1. It is negligible. So you couldn't even say that you're doing chip damage with it. It is actually just
1 damage.
You're just slapping him in the face. It's like,
that explains why it's so goofy.
Nice. But the side air stops him from making it back to the stage. Good edge guard. And a rather slow-paced opening to game 2 compared to the previous one, where Godly seems to have just kept Skeldra on sword.
Yes.
And then piecemeal 1 by 1, just hit him once with the Sarah here, once with the Sarah there. And now the Vortex is starting to get that dodge weed. Downlight's the wrong way, and that neutral stick will come in from Skeldra that will attack on some damage, but he's not close to knocking Godly out yet.
Oh, great side light there. But now Godly has this. Oh, great read on the dodge there from Godly.
Okay. Yeah. He's been mixing up when he uses that neutral signature too, right? Because Jay and with Greatsword, you've got your end light finishers, you've got your side light finishers, you've got your down light finishers. But you know what else you have? You have neutral sig, which you could just kind of break out at any point in time in your string. And when you see the rocks fly, that's when you know he's going for it. Big overarching move. The only way you can avoid it is to stay perfectly stacked on top of it. And most of the time, when you're dodging against Greatsword, oh my goodness.
So much.
Guitars from Godly are just so great.
Yeah.
You're not trying to dodge into them in those situations. So Skeldra's been doing great with that, but in the meantime, when Godly gets a hit, he's getting like 7.
Yeah. And he's also been doing a great job staying on plats this game, keeping Skeldra off the Greatsword too. Lots of damage.
Downer comes through. Down sig would be great here at the edge. He went for side signature there instead.
Again.
It's just very common for a Surrey to be like holding the edge there, waiting for your jumps to come through, and when wall slip comes down, you do down sig, which is just a really strong active hitbox that catches dodging. And you saw Godly like try to do that, and he got interrupted in the middle of his attack. Still a great lead for him though.
Oh, okay. He's got his sword. Is the raw recovery or the D-Light recovery coming out? Ooh!
Neutral signature is a pretty good option. Does not hit grounded, but catches a huge area right above you, especially if people are trying to jump and cover that space. And now Skeldra's got like I guess 2 good dodge reads into a neutral sig could possibly 0 to knock out him. I'm curious to see if he's able to do that.
I like the dash land there on the platform. Okay.
Oh, that's a good start. That's 1 string. You need like 4 more of those. Uh-oh. Didn't get the bonk, and he's out.
Yeah, getting rid of the Greatsword there definitely cost him. But, yeah, Godly evening it up. I wonder if he stays on this character.
Are you thinking about Skeldra or Godly?
I wonder if Godly stays on this character.
I think with how well Godly did, 396 damage on the Katars.
The Katars were going Vortex mode this game, for sure.
Yeah, and then the sword actually had a similar role to what Skeldra usually has with the sword, right? Which is just, okay, I did a ton of damage with my main weapon, and now sword's bread and butter is going to knock out, right? Whether it be like a D-Light recovery or a D-Light side air. I think Godly will stay on the character unless the character loses pretty badly. I'm not sure if Skeldra will change off of the J-Yun, but we'll have to wait. And Miami Dome seems to be the favorite of the Trial of Ymir today. They've been on this stage all day.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that Godly has, like, boss phases. Like, you don't get to play the Wushon until you turned it.
It also could just be that he doesn't want to play Gauntlets against Greatsword. I'm very curious.
Oh,
there's been a lot of very interesting interviews with Godly where he talks about, like, how he changes to find the thing that's going to work against the person that he wants to win against, because he always wants to win. And he may just think that that's not the play here. And the Katars are the first time, it's the first time he's busted it out in this run today, and they look fantastic. Look at that down sig catching him on the ground. That stock's gone in under a minute.
Yeah, he is definitely setting the pace of the match with these Katars here versus Greatsword. Oh, great whiff punish there.
The neutral light just lasts so long, covers that weapon spawn, gets the tail end of that neutral light, or that side light rather. Recovery does not hit, but Skeldra now stuck on sword. I honestly look at this, and I look at the weapon in his hands, and I go, is this just you saying I'm going to take damage here? Okay, finally, gets the D-Light recovery, and he waits for a weapon spawn to come through, but he still has to take this first stock.
Oh, yeah. Now Godly back on the Katars. Oh, offstage battles.
Okay. Doesn't want to fight against Katars unarmed, though, so Godly manages to make his way back. And that gravity cancel down heavy is, like, not the greatest choice. Dodge being gone means D-Light recovery is going to be true. Godly can get that D-Light and get his own recovery. Not damaged enough for unarmed recovery to knock out. Oh, is Godly going to go up 2 stocks again?
They're both looking for their D-Lights here. Let's see who gets it.
Ooh, goes all the way out for the side air. What was that weapon throw? Skeldra. Okay, gets the dive kick, but you're unarmed. Ground pound doesn't hit.
Oh, my God. Catching the dodge through there. Raw recovery.
Oh, yeah. And now Greatsword. Okay, Godly.
Oh. All right.
Missed the wall.
Just missed there.
I don't think I've ever seen Godly SD like that. All right, well, there he goes. Self-destruct off the bottom. Gets the side light. Going to go for D-Light recovery. There we go. All right, nice. Cleans up the stock. You know what? That first stock of his was going to go eventually. And now Skeldra technically hasn't taken a single stock off of Godly. Yeah.
The only person who can beat Godly is Godly. Oh, nice read attempt from Godly. It's been very on point with the dodge reads.
Yeah, setting up most of the time with those down lights, getting that little poke in. That time Skeldra had a good wake up.
Yeah.
Dodged in place and then gravity canceled it into an end light. Caught Godly in the middle of it, but I mean, despite that, he's still just taking so much damage. Weapon throw, trying to go for end sig. Oh, ground pound I thought was going to happen there, but it didn't. Those side lights are just, he keeps hitting the,
this time he reads the GCD light.
The wake up?
Yeah.
And he read it with a gravity cancel down light. That was so he like dipped down beneath the stage, got the gravity cancel D-Light, and then got the recovery afterwards, which becomes true once that dodge is gone. That was it. That was amazing. Look at the damage. 504 to 32.
Yeah.
He did as much unarmed as he did with a sword.
Wow.
We're gonna see that downlight in the recovery. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That was a great call up because what happened before was when the sword neutral light came out of the gravity cancel, we were like, oh, Skeldra's now doing a wake up. And then Godly saw that once and then went, I think you're gonna do that again.
Yeah.
And he got it. He got the stock off of that. That was
classic fool me once type strategy. As soon as he saw it once, he's like, okay, I can adapt to this. And I respect that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and just being able to have like the peace of mind to go for that in the midst of a winner's final match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, all right. We're going to a triplat stage. First one that we've casted today. There's been a lot of banning out to certain stages. So a few things about this. Godly now in the Asuri. Skeldra has switched over to another greatsword character that he plays. We were talking about this with last, actually. This is Mako. So it's going to be on the guitars and the greatsword.
Okay.
Shark-themed character. Lots of long... In fact, both characters have the probably longest reaching side signatures in the game. Asuri on side sig can cover the entire stage. Mako on side sig can do the same thing. She also has a steerable tornado down sig where you can go left and right during the charge. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see if Skeldra utilizes that at all. That slide charge down sig, as you see the waves there, hit quite far. Mako, not a common pick in competitive play in general. So this is really cool to see him bust this out as he's got his back against the wall here. Oh, Sarah gets interrupted.
Yeah, it seems like he really doesn't like that neutral versus Katar's, and he says, if I can't beat him, let me join them.
Oh, yeah.
Katar Ditto.
And now he's got the Katar Ditto. Oh, but that D-Light slider punishes that dash jump Sair so nicely. Skeldra is expecting Godly to fade away, and Godly says, I am not going to run away from your approach. Instead, just hits him right back for it.
All right, Katar Ditto. Let's see. Okay,
Down
trying to
sig.
raw sig.
Yeah, that's pretty risky if you miss it, because it lasts for a while, it hits pretty hard, but you're stuck there for a while. There's that side stick. Wow, nicely done. Yeah, if you just let that go off the gravity cancel, it's pretty short, but if you hold it, you just like, it's like literally like Jaws. You're just like a shark underwater across the entire
fun
stage.
hurtbox distortion there.
There are things that can just straight up miss when you're in that move. Nicely done. Gets the endlight finisher.
Yeah. Feels like Skeldra's pretty comfortable with the neutral and greatsword versus sword, but
the dash lane off the platform to get the center was crazy.
Yeah. But once Godly's on these guitars, this has been the name of the game.
Yeah, falls with Nair, edge guard opportunity here. He wanted to Sair through the platform, ended up landing on the platform with the Sair, so he doesn't end up hitting him. But that recovery will catch him off guard. One more of those will knock out.
Very strong from Godly.
There's his 32 sword damage for the game.
Yeah, one confirmed. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Sword, the weapon that I used to get rid of the stock after I had fun doing the damage, and now he's having a lot of fun doing the damage. That is the biggest weakness of Katars, is that as much as they're able to get a ton of damage onto you, unless you get something off stage, you're having trouble getting a reliable knockout unless you get something like that down sig. Godly is
Oh my God! Oh,
gets dunked.
Wait, I thought that was Godly.
Yeah, Skeldra goes in for the gravity cancel end sig, gets the dunk. You could decide to spike left or right with that attack, but that entire time he took a ton of damage. So even though Godly went down there, Godly had a stock to play with, and now he's a D-Light recovery away from getting this knockout here and going into grand finals.
This is so tough for Skeldra here. Godly looking for the D-Light. When is it coming? Is it GC? Is it grounded? Ooh.
The dash and the movement's pretty dang good, but Skeldra now on the side of the stage. Godly denies all the weapons. Recovery hits.
Raw recovery again. Godly taking that clean.
Yeah, clean. A little bit of understatement with 616 damage done to 352. I like the attempt from the Mako coming out from Skeldra there, but we just really saw that once Godly was over onto the Asuri and onto the Katars specifically, because I'm sure.